Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel Programming Knowledge. In today's video, we are going to start with a new software of the Microsoft Office package, and that software is known as Microsoft Excel. So as we know that Microsoft Excel is a software that is available with the Microsoft Office package, and this software is used to create spreadsheets or charts, tables, etc. Basically, whenever you want to format your data or organize it and try to view it in a tabular form or in a graphical representation, then this particular software is used. However, there is a general misconception that this software can only be used by the people who have a advanced knowledge of accounting, but that is not the fact. And from this tutorial series, we are going to tell you some of the basics through which you can easily organize your data using Microsoft Excel. So in our first tutorial today, we are going to start with a basic introduction of Microsoft Excel. So in front of your screens, you all could see that this is a Microsoft Excel being opened, and I'm using a version of Microsoft Excel 2016. So once you open your Microsoft Excel, you will find this kind of a screen in front of you, and it generally has different options, that is like home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, and so on. And whenever you click on these options, you can see that there is a kind of a ribbon that is changing its contents. So these contents are with reference to these options or the tabs, as you can say. And if you just go to home, you can see that these are the different groups that are available to you. In the first group, you have options of paste, cut, copy, format painter. Similarly, in the second group, you have some options through which you can just manipulate your font style, its size, or its color or a background color. Similarly, there are different groups and different tabs available through which you can manipulate whatever you do in your Microsoft Excel. Now I have opened this kind of a workbook, and in workbook there are different sheets available which are known as worksheets, and we usually work on the worksheets only. So here you can see that this is named as sheet 1. So this is the sheet 1 of book 1, which is written over here at the top. Now, if I want, I can add as many sheets to my book as I want by just pressing on this plus sign that is available over here. So as you can see, I have added these kind of sheets over here. And all these sheets, as you can see, are made up of cells. Now, what are these cells? These cells are basically the intersection of the rows and the columns together. These horizontal things are called rows, which are represented by numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on in Excel. And these vertical things are known as columns, which are represented by the letters of the English alphabet. So these are the columns and these are the rows, and the intersection of the rows and the columns are known as a cell. So if we just click on it, then this is a cell, and its address is generally the column number and the row number. So you can see that here we can see the name of the cell or the address of the cell, and if we just click on any of the cell, then you can see that its address changes. And if you want, you can just also click on a number of cells together like this. So this is basically just selecting a range of the cells which is depicted by the first cell over here, that is C3, and the last cell over here, that is J13. So that would be the range of this cell. Now how can you enter data into a cell? So if we just go back to the first cell, you got to double click on it first of all. then you can see that a cursor is present over here. Then when a cursor is present over there, you can just type anything that you want. Suppose I just type in data. So this data is now entered into a cell, but how can we save it? If we just press the enter key, then you can see that the cell A1 is now containing the word data, and now my cursor has moved on to the next cell, that is A2. Now in the cell A2, if I add something, suppose table, and I press on the tab key, then you can see that my cursor has now moved on towards the right side, that is the cell B2. Now if I type anything, suppose some garbage values like this, and I don't want it to be saved in the B2 cell, then what I do is just simply press the escape key. So whatever the data that I entered over there is now removed from the cell. So that's how you can just navigate to the different cells in your worksheet. That is either by pressing on the arrow keys, or when you are on a cell, you can just press the tab key to move to the right. Then you can press the enter key to just move on to the downside. And if you want to move upwards, then you can just press the shift and the enter key. And similarly, if you want to move towards the left side, you can just press the shift and the tab key together to move to the right. So just the tab key will move you to the right, and if you press the shift and the tab key, then you will be moving towards the left. And these are some of the important things that you can use while creating or entering data in an Excel sheet. Now apart from that, if we just enter some of the data, I am just clearing this data over here, and from here I just type name, age and gender. So this is some data that I have entered. These are these three columns: name, age and gender. And basically I'm trying to create a table over here whose whose heading is going to be data, and this is the data that is present over here. So this is kind of a table that doesn't looks very good, so we are going to apply some formatting to it. And for that, first of all, just go to this bottom right corner and increase the zoom percentage a little bit, so that you are in clear view of whatever data that you have written. Then in order to just make it more visible to yourself, then what you can do is just select these three cells together, and if you want to bring your heading to the center, go to the home tab, and here you will find an option of merge and center. So just click on it and you will see that your heading data is now centered and these three cells have been merged together. So for that we just selected those cells and merged them together. And if you want, you can also just select these two cells together and again click on merge and center. Then you will see that these two rows have merged together and these three columns have also been merged together, and the content, that is data, is now available at the center of all. Now we are going to apply some formatting to it, so just select it and you can just get it a bold. If you want, you can also increase its size, so I'm keeping a 24. If you want, you can also just change its color like this. So that's what we have got. And now the same thing, now what we have done is just selected this 3. So this whole row is selected, and now we are going to just turn it to bold and an italics. Its color I'm going to change to a shade of green, and the background color I'm going to apply a yellow like this. But I don't want it to be applied to this whole layer, so I'm just keeping it a none. And then I'm going to select only these 3 cells, and to these 3 cells only I'm going to apply a background color of yellow. Now what I'm going to do is just keep all these things like this only, but as you can see that the column age is having a small amount of data, but it is occupying too much of space. So for that, what we're going to do is just select all these cells and move to the intersection of these two columns and just double click on it. Now on doing that, you can see that all the columns are occupying the minimum space that was required for them. Now if you want, you can also decrease its distance like this, and you can see that the word gender is now just coming out of the cell contents. So if you want, you can just increase its distance like this. And that's how you create a table in Excel. If you want, you can just select these cells and just change its background color to something else like this. So that is in today's Microsoft Excel introduction. Today we learned about some of these shortcuts, that how can we move between the cells in Excel and how can we create and format the data in Excel. So that is all with the introduction. For more such tutorials, keep watching the YouTube channel Programming Knowledge.